Greetings everyone, Joseph James with your nightly newsletter, brought to you by the schooloftrade.com. Today was July 13th, 2009. Before we get into our trade results today, let's talk about what we ended up with. Came in today 2 for 2 today, 562.50, right? So 562 US dollars. This, of course, 3 contract count. First day of the week, which brings our weekly total to 562 and our monthly total here down to 28.55. We're averaging now about $400 a day here in the room this month, in the month of July. So not too bad for a sleepy summer trade. The term of the day is trending market. Now, of course, a trending market seems to be one of the most popular terms we talk about. It also seems to be one of those markets that can be a little bit difficult to identify sometimes. So what is a trending market? Well, we haven't seen much of this summer so far, but it's when a market ultimately moves in the same direction, right? So where price is moving in the same direction, whether it be up or down. It's going to have small pullbacks or retracements, of course, along the way, but no major reversals of the overall trend. It's going to make higher highs and lower lows, and we'll show you what those look like a little bit later on in this presentation. And it ultimately can be an uptrend or a downtrend. It will usually involve heavy trading volume. Unlike its counterpart, the range-bound or sideways market or the non-trending market, which will have light volume, a trending market will always have heavy trading volume, right? That heavy trading volume is what's responsible for making those higher highs or the lower lows as price moves in its direction of the trend. We're going to trade using wider stops and wider targets because we want to let our winners run. Now, in a trending environment, we're going to see price move more than in a horizontal, sideways, or range-bound market. So in a trending market, a little bit more volume in there. We have a little bit more movement than of course, compared to a range-bound market. And because of that, we're going to let our winners run. So we're trying to maximize with a trailing stop just about as much profit as we possibly can get out of each trade we're in. And of course, this trending markets, well, they may last years, months, days, hours, minutes, or even seconds. Sometimes the short-term trend can be as short as 5 or 6 minutes, whereas the long-term trend, such as an upward trend or a downward trend for a long term, could last months, quarters, or even years. Now, here's an example of some of the attributes that we see in a trending environment. Now, of course, on the left side, you'll see your uptrend, where we have higher highs, right, higher lows. And then on the opposite side, for your downtrend, we're seeing lower lows. And of course, taking a look at this in the market that we see, right, here's an old snapshot of the Euro futures from a couple weeks ago. And you guys can see with this green trend line here, notice how we're seeing higher highs and higher lows. Good example of what an uptrending market looks like here on the Euro futures. Let's talk about our live trade room tomorrow. We're going to recommend you guys pick up a copy of the beginner's course, right? Remember, the beginner's course is a kind of a prerequisite for the live trade room. Not required, but very much recommended and encouraged. That beginner's course, of course, you can get on our homepage, schooloftrade.com. We're going to open up the trade room 2:45 a.m. Eastern Time. It's available for trial members and lifetime members, so come out and join us. We'll trade the European session at 3 a.m., and then we'll transition into the U.S. morning session, and we'll trade up until 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have 3 very simple jobs during this time in the trade room. One is to identify, and that is to identify the news events and the type of market we see, whether it be a trending or a sideways market. Job number 2 is to adjust. We then adjust to what we see in the market. So whatever we identify, we then want to adjust to the news events. We want to adjust the type of market we see by looking at our support and our resistance levels. Job number 3 then becomes quite easy, guys, if we do jobs number 1 and 2 correctly, and that is we're going to execute our trades. So if we've done 1 and 2 correctly, we can be very confident, use patience and discipline to wait for only the perfect high volume setups. And guys, you heard me say it a million times today, stop thinking so much and let our rules of the trading. We provide you guys with our mechanical set of trading rules, our entry rules, as a part of our live trade rooms. Come out and join us. We'll give you those rules, and we'll show you how to stop thinking so much and simply follow those mechanical rules. Now let's go over the 2 trades we took today in the market. Now, of course, the room opened up late this morning. We didn't open up until 7:30, 7:45 this morning, so we didn't have as much opportunity to be trading as we have in the past when we open up at 3 a.m. Nonetheless, we still had 2 very good opportunities here before 9:30. Here on the DAX market, at this time, we were seeing this market move pretty good. Right, so about 8:30, 8:25, the DAX started to wake up, right? So we love to see the DAX move because it's got some great trading ranges, and at 35 USD per point, it's a great way to really pad your trade account with only a couple trades needed. And of course, as you guys can see here on the left side of your screen, we had 2 back-to-back wave setups that we disqualified ultimately because of the fact that we were following our rules. The first one, we had resistance overhead. This one happened just about 8:28 this morning, just before 8:30. Then, of course, about 8:35, 8:36, we had another wave set up long. This one, of course, had no price action, and you guys can see at the bottom of your screen here, I've marked with these red arrows on our volume indicator just what I mean by that. And we saw it in real time. Ultimately, what we saw low volume. In other words, price was moving. It was moving up, but on very few trades, the price got very thin at that point. And, of course, you can see that referenced on our volume indicator below. Now, it wasn't until that trend, that move up here in the DAX, it wasn't until that exhausted about 8:45 that we were able to capitalize on a trend reversal trade setup, which we call the two-step. Of course, this is a two-step short here at 8:47 a.m. Our entry was at 62.5, and ultimately in this specific situation, you'll notice there we've got two price levels there at 66 and at 64. 66 was our swing low. So 66 was what we identified as being the break level for that two-step entry. But 64 was a level of dynamic support. And of course, if you guys recall, we had a medium time frame we were watching at that time, which gave us a heads up that that 64 level was what we had to wait for to get that trade taken. So we waited for 66s, 65, 64, 63, and then wouldn't you know it, volume picked up nicely. We got in for this short trade at 62.5. Lots of our members made great money in this trade this morning, guys, and you can make it right along with us tomorrow morning when we open up, so come join us. So took profit here at 2 points, 4 points, and then as you guys can see with this green circle here, we waited all the way until 53. And that's exactly when we took our final profit target at 53s here. We got almost every possible point out of this move here to the downside. Wonderful trade. We simply had to follow our rules, and our rules told us exactly what to do here in this situation. So 15 points, multiply it by 35 bucks per point, right, per contract. On the that of course is USD. We're only trading 3 contracts here in the room, guys. So come out and join us. You don't need a huge account to make money like this. Our last trade, our second winning trade, of course, went 2 for 2 today, was on the Euro futures. This one, another two-step long, and of course, we see a lot of this stuff as the summer kind of chops its way through. Low volume, sideways type of price action on these markets during this low volume month of July and August. And we expect to see this stuff. Of course, the two-step again is a trend reversal trade, which means we're ultimately looking at the reversal of this trend. You guys can see here, we pretty much caught it pretty good. Again, some low volume price action got us out relatively early for only 3 ticks. But as you guys can see, as soon as the fall comes back, we welcome that volume back in the market. We'll be adding that 3, 6, and 12, just like we saw in the months of April, May, and June. All right, so don't worry about us. We'll be fine. The volume here a little bit low. So, of course, when we see low volume, this two-step long at 10:15 this morning, 29 was our entry point here. Of course, more volume would have given us a little bit better a move here. It's basically we've got to deal with what the market can give us. And today, 2 for 2 here. Again, just shy of 600 bucks on 3 contracts. So a wonderful day trading right on this summer Monday. Let's recap. Our live trade room opens tomorrow morning, 2:45 a.m. Eastern time. So come out and join us. We're going to trade 8 different markets. We'll trade the E-minis at 9:30. We'll open up with DAX, crude oil, gold, and the euro at 3. We're going to give you live trade calls with entries, targets, and stops. So we'll show you everything you guys need to know exactly where we're getting in, where we're getting out. And of course, plenty of opportunities for questions. We're going to give you all of our entry rules. You guys can ask questions every step of the way. We do education throughout the day, and you're going to see the market in a completely different way, guys. We'll give you free 3 weeks. Come out and join as part of our trial. I want to remind you, too, the beginner's course is recommended for all the trial members. So download a copy of that today and come prepared tomorrow morning. Drop us an email, sales@schooloftrade.com. And also, I want to remind you guys, our YouTube page is full of great videos. If you find value in those videos, please rate the videos, comment on those videos. And as always, hope the video helped tonight. We'll see you tomorrow in the trade room.